Bonjour, Anin, friends and strangers, family, love, all that there. Even if you fucking hate me, I bet you can't debate me on this one. I want to talk about here what I wish I could give to every person that really is truly on a spiritual route. That's not spiritual narcissist, quote unquote empath and all that bullshit. And with all this misinformation out there and these 23andMe lying about people's genealogy. We could debate about that if you want to, but I mean, why would they want to tell everybody the truth about who they really are? And it's everything that is around you in the society. One of the biggest detriments to you and your growth as a soul, spirit, mind, on your spirit will of incarnation, or whatever you're trying to do here, is if you speak the English language, is a deception in itself, because you have these words that don't exist in Anishinaabe, which is my tribe's ancestral language. One of these words are words like religion, believe, hope, etc. There was no faith and all that kind of thing, and it nowadays basically it's taboo to start a conversation with someone, and most people don't really have any substance to them at all, really. They fold up like a lawn chair under pressure if you want to start talking to them about anything meaningful. Because if this kind of shit was easy, we would have been way down the road with it by now. And today I want to talk about something that I had to kind of figure out for myself, but luckily I was able to find some sources from my great uncle and like some books and things that we call the way of the good life. There's actually a word that I have really bad problems with trying to pronounce the phrase in Ojibwe. Actually, it's Anishinaabe, mino-bimaadiziwin. But I'll just spell it out for you on the fucking YouTube video. I'm sorry. It's a hard language. Also, I want to say that it's 5:55 right now, which is the number of transformations. Do you know that there was a study done on a species of butterfly and their caterpillar, where when these things were caterpillars, they were taught to respond to certain cues of different sorts, like, sound or touch or whatever. You can go look up the papers if you want to. And, when these caterpillars go into the cocoon, basically with the technology that we have now, looking inside the cocoon, they basically liquefy and go into being stem cells. And the part that was the caterpillar's brain ends up being a totally different thing than the butterfly. But when these butterflies come out of their cocoons, they still respond to the same cues, just like the caterpillars did. That right there is undeniable evidence of God consciousness. That is the collective consciousness, because since we're conscious, that means all the things that we came from and are made of have to be conscious too, on some level. And that means everything that you see out here in reality, in your perception, your actual perception. The best thing you can ever do for yourself is drop those words out of your vocabulary. And basically what the way of a good life means, for me, it meant just fucking turning everything that I thought I knew into dust, man. And I started to try to figure things out like my ancestors would have when they were free on this continent, where they would learn things from experience and nature, dreams, stuff like that. Synchronistic moments and stuff like that. That's how we figured out how to use all these different plant medicines and all of these things. That's the way of the good life. And that's the only thing that I've seen that can really truly combat all of this starseed alien stuff where there's these alien light. No, there's nobody coming to save us. That right there is a collective delusion and a escapism. Escapism is one of the worst addictions that mankind has. 444 on the counter right now. 444 is a number that's all about foundations. And when I say spiritual, what spiritual means is like, it encompasses way more than just what you think this is all about. it's not, this experience here is just that. It's an experience. It's not really all that important what meaning you subscribe to it. It's yours, though. Is there a higher meaning than you thought when you were... For me, yes. But as I go on, I tread on in this, I begin to lose that part of me where I am so desperate to help humanity and all this shit, because humanity has shitted on me. If I'm... One of the two things my great uncle told me at the beginning of this, when I accepted this, the way of the good life, and the rite of passage, and the things that I had to do, which I'll tell you more about. He told me that the two greatest burdens that I'm going to carry for the rest of my life. One of them, the first one, is the little lies that I tell myself. The second one, as the clock turns 5:55 on the counter once again, man. The other one is my humanity, or what that means. What that means to me. Because 90% of people that I've interacted with, if they're human, then I'm something else. And the people that I'm talking to that are hearing this right now, you're something else. Yeah. Because, all these people, they talk about being an empath, and they think they're fucking Disney characters and all that other shit. There is no person alive that has not had a dark thought. These are spiritual narcissists. A lot of them run these groups and shit. Where they silence the truth and they start making up these fucking narratives about, timeline divergence and splits, and how they're all, oh, you got to do your shadow work. And they fucking just regurgitate these fucking spiritual word porn meme kind of things. Shit makes my fucking gut just, it's ruined connections for me. Because people are addicted to this shit. And people love this whole thing about how we're all one. And it's all about going back to being one. Well, what's the point then? Yeah, I just came here because my whole life was an inconvenience. It's, my whole life was a punishment for what? For what? For what? I didn't come here for that. I'm not going to give my identity back to the void. That is not why we're here. These people want an escape. I don't want an escape. There's no way to not have an experience. And I hope with all the hope in me that I can actually muster, because hope is a very foreign emotion to me, that y'all hearing this will take this to heart and live like people did hundreds of years ago and learn everything for yourself, man. Because these people are fucking not people you want to be taking facts from. The other day, I saw... This is one of fucking real good example, man. This girl has a group, big following, a website. She has a merch and everything, her YouTube channel. And she talks about how she's Arcturian or whatever the hell she is. And on her website, there's a picture of her wearing one of her shirts. And she's got this sassy look on her face, and the shirt says, "Not from here." God, I wish that was true. That you weren't from here. God, do I fucking wish that was true. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff right there, it takes more years than I have to let that kind of stuff just... So, I've fallen out of these groups and all this stuff, and, I used to be... Up until like 4, 5, 6 months ago, I had a certain, dozen people or so in my life. And among these people are these middle-aged white women. One of them is named Natalie. Told me that if I ever needed a place to go, that if I showed up at her door in Utah, that I would be welcome and I'd have a home there. And when I needed it, she asked me how much money I had in my accounts. And she freaked out about me asking her for $15 because I was hungry. $15, a woman, mind you, that I have carried and dragged, kicking and screaming for 7 years. She never learned, but, here I am with this thing that's been beaten into my head where I have to give these people infinite, But I don't. That's a lie. Not even Jesus did that. And yes, there's a word in our language. It's spelled Giizis. It means sun and moon or month. That's where that comes from. That word, that Messiah being has visited all the people of the earth. Been here many times. As soon as I mentioned that, it was 1010 on this little counter. And 1010, again, 1010 is a number that means a deeper, more common understanding. A common understanding. Fall away. Fall away from what you think that you know. These things that you have read. And a Catriel is going to be with you, and there's going to be some of these things that still hang around that are actually real. And the thing is, actually, when you think something is real, when you really, really believe it's real, right in the middle of that word is the word lie. You get stuck in your belief structures. And it'll become true. Because you literally generate the reality around you to differing degrees. Right? And when we want to talk about PTSD and all this other kind of stuff, and everyone that's like you and your husband, I'm talking to someone specific right now, you know who you are, but like me and the people that I'm going to end up teaching, we are born into families and households or situations where we are brutally just fucking skull drug, man. Trauma and all that kind of, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing ever going to stop me, though, from what I really, really want. And it's not to go back into oneness with all these people that fucking hate me. Just said that at 11:44. I just want anyone who hears this message today and in the next fucking, 11 billion fucking years, man, to see and feel the fucking whirlwind of destiny and synchronicity that is right here. And, I have an argument with myself every fucking day about, it was just 12:12 when I said that. Every day about, I'm like, man, I couldn't really, really be the vanguard of this, right? There's no way that I'm going to be this person that heals people that heal people and teach these people that are going to fucking lead the children of this generation that's coming up. Because when this happens, and this is all played out, I signed a contract and I'm exiting the greatest actor alive. I'm the greatest actor alive. And I'm going to exit the stage right. It's like I said, my intentions and what I want out of this, I'm not really trying to go to heaven and play fucking Yahtzee with Mormon people and stuff like that. But I'm putting this out here like this. I'm not trying to be negative. What I'm telling you is that your desires are something that you need to hold on to with your spiritual, immortal life. Never let that shit leave your grasp. Never let one of these people talk you into giving up your desires. Not in this life or any. Don't ever, ever, ever buy into that fucking escapism where you just want it to be easy and you don't want it to hurt no more and all this other stuff. You love it when it hurts. You have to hurt. It's not going to make any difference if you turn the lights on if the room wasn't dark in the first place, man. It's like trying to go into somebody's house and arrange all of their furniture as pointing upwards. You can take their couch and put it on its little side, and it'll be the other side of it will be closer to the ceiling, but on vice versa will be touching on the floor now. And it's just worse off before you started trying to fuck with something. You know what I mean? So there's books out here about this kind of stuff, but it's actually just a really simple thing. You know what I mean? And this is something where you can invite Creator and Spirit into you, a Catriel, the presence, where you'll be led into reading material and all kind of stuff like that, and other people that will confirm things for you, and this will get it's just get brighter and brighter for you. But you are, one of a kind. You're not Arcturian or Pleiadian fucking alien that's reincarnated here and all that kind of jazz. You're you. And you are you incarnated here to be this dope-ass person that you are. So do that. It's your identity, man. Nobody else should be able to define it or what you get out of this. you get whatever you want, whatever you fucking work for out of this. Till next time.